Good afternoon, Newcastle. My name's Ian Wilson, and to start with, I'd like to ingratiate myself with you local people. How are you? That's quite something, thanks. I'm obviously not from Newcastle. I originate from Leicester. But I don't sound like I'm from Leicester either. It's the case of, if you were to go down to Leicester City Football Club and the King Power Stadium, I would not be one of the people singing, Leicester, 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 Leicester. I lack the common touch. And I've made my peace with that. So, basically, I would have loved to have been at the King Power last month, however, for Jamie Vardy's farewell appearance. He'd been with the club for 13 years, for 500 games, and scored 200 goals. But Newcastle, Jamie Vardy is absolutely my favourite racist from Yorkshire. As you can imagine, that's against some pretty stiff competition. Such as my father. However, it is because of my father and dearest mother, but they got to put me through the grammar school, which explains why I sound like this. The grammar school where I learned the joys of grammar, the joys of Latin, and the joys of rowing. Wonderful. Oh. Someone got eliminated from the repechage, clearly. But after the grammar school, I undertook the middle class rite of passage and had a gap year. And on my gap year, I spent 6 months in the Canadian Rockies, the ski chalets, the slopes and everything. It was beautiful. I can't tell you what was more beautiful. The mountainsides, the glistening white mountainsides after a fresh dump of snow, or the glistening white porcelain of the toilets of the ski chalets after I'd spent 10 minutes cleaning all traces of excrement after a less than fresh dump. It was beautiful, my gap year. But what brings me to Newcastle? Well, basically, you might get the sense correctly, but I like the classical things in life. History, heritage. But I never wanted to be a teacher, per se. I wanted to be a museum educator, like the aforementioned monk somewhere over there. Thanks, John. Really, really understand. Basically, a museum educator has the benefits that a teacher doesn't. A teacher cannot say, "Will you shut the fuck up and look at this castle? It's still standing after 800 years! That's fucking incredible!" Obviously, that natural enthusiasm needed a little moulding. Therefore, I moved here in 2009 to gain a master's degree in museum education, which I duly got. However, I don't work in museums, Newcastle, partially because of those outbursts, but also because in 2010, I was shafted by David Cameron. Not literally. I'm not a pig. Thank you, sir. I don't actually know David Cameron, despite sounding like I might. However, if we did know each other, he might have explained it to me thus. Hello, Ian. I see you're no longer rowing. Porky. Please don't use that wording, David. It makes me uncomfortable. Porky's a pig. Here's the thing, old boy. I'm afraid we've backed the wrong horse professionally. You see, my government is going to decimate the arts and heritage sectors. But we will be rewarding bastards. So professionally, think on that. So I'm a lawyer. And there are some in the crowd. Thank you for buying tickets. But I can't go into my full back catalogue of evil. There isn't time. However, I will leave you on the fact that I'm very proud of my pro bono work. And obviously, all of you from your GCSE Latin studies know. No? Okay then. Pro bono, from the Latin to the English, means I very much approve of the size of that thing. It's a grower. And that's why they approve. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you, Ian Wilson. Thank you.